welcome to Girls Talk on NJ Digital TV. I am your host, Harjeet Dhillon, and as always, I have an exciting show for you today. I have a guest. Her name is Monica Dilawari, and she is a pageant winner, Mrs. South Asia 2017. And when I say she's a pageant winner, I do have to emphasize Mrs. because that also means that she's not just a pageant winner. And in the interim, she does do modeling as well and has modeled for fashion shows that help charities. She's also a mother of two, which is quite unbelievable. So she secured the pageant, she won the crown, and now I'm going to talk to her about her time in the pageant and also her time when she's not competing in the pageant and how that is. Hi, Monica. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Harjeet. Thank you for having me over. Thank you very much.
It's great to have you. There's so much that I wanted to say, but it's kind of like, I really want the viewers to hear about you and your journey as a pageant winner. So why don't you, before we get into all those details, I know that you haven't just won one title when you competed in the pageant, you won more than one title. Why don't you tell us about that and tell us a little bit about the shows that you did when you modeled?
Sure, I did.
Life as a mom, sorry.
Absolutely, life as a mom. That's a wonderful question, actually. As you mentioned, I do have two kids, and by God's grace, they're both grown up. My son is 24 and my daughter is 22 right now. So they're both working as well. And then while competing for the pageant as well, I did get a big support from my husband and my kids as well, as you can say, right? So nothing's possible without the family support that you can say.
Yes.
For the pageant winning, yes, I did win the title of Mrs. South Asia Canada. And I did win the title of Mrs. Bollywood Diva, so I do a little bit of dancing as well, I guess.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, okay.
And then I did win People's Choice #3 as well, so that helped a lot for me in winning the crown as well.
So then you say you're a Bollywood diva.
Mm-hmm.
I'll touch upon that. You said you do a little bit of dancing. Is that what you had used as your talent as well?
Actually, to be honest with you, I do have both talents. I do singing as well.
Okay.
So I did both. I tried competing for the talent round in singing, and I competed in the Bollywood Diva round for dancing. But fortunately, yeah, they like my dancing better, so I did win that title.
Well, you won the title for
Yeah.
Mrs. South Asia, so the singing actually worked too.
It did, for sure. We
was
can
a
say that.
double
Yeah,
whammy.
absolutely.
So that's incredible. You're multi-talented, you're beautiful, and being a pageant winner, you have a voice as well. Let me ask you this. To compete in the pageant, since it's such a new title, it's only from 2017, I'm just curious to know, have you had any aspirations prior to that, like as a child when you were growing up to compete in a pageant? Did you see yourself as a pageant queen or a pageant winner, or did you just decide last year, this is what I want to do?
This is a funny story, actually. Good question, though, because when I was a kid, I never had any thoughts about going for a pageant. I was more into getting into aviation, though. Like I really wanted to be on a plane all the time. That was like a childhood dream. My childhood is actually in Bombay, and my dad had a little bit of connection with Bollywood. So he used to produce Haryanvi movies, I guess. I'm not sure if you've heard about the Haryanvi movies, the Haryana, right? So I did have a little bit touch of that, fashion and dressing up and being all preppy all the time. But I had never thought about that. But when I came to Canada, and Canada is actually a land of living your dreams, I would say, for everybody. So that's when that thing came to my mind, and I kind of, made up my mind. A couple of my friends were like, you should go compete for the pageant. I was like, really? Should I do that? I have a full-time job. My kids have, you know how responsibilities, there's so much to do with the kids as well. So, but yeah, then, a lot of my friends helped me out with this and supporting me and pushing me to go for it. And then here I am, I did it.
So it basically wasn't something that crossed your mind. It was people put it in front of you and
Right.
presented the idea to you and said that you would be a great fit.
Right.
And to compete.
Absolutely. That's why I love my friends
Oh,
and my
wow.
family. Yeah.
That's incredible. And to get that kind of motivation and encouragement from friends just out of the blue and then to win, it's
amazing.
It's even more incredible.
It's a really good experience for sure.
You realize potential that you wouldn't have known existed if it wasn't for your friends.
That's true. That's true.
So back to your childhood, because you had just competed on a whim last year. So if you have had dreams to be in a pageant when you were little, when I say little, I mean anywhere like from 10, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you think that your parents would have been supportive, or your siblings, being, you know, of South Asian background, where it's not usually a supportive career, it's not really a job, so do you think that you would have had the support that you wanted?
I think, yes, I would say that. Definitely, as I mentioned, my dad was into Bollywood, right? We did have a little bit of connection over here and there with the Bollywood. So if I would have mentioned that to my dad and my mom, they definitely would have pushed me towards it and would have motivated me to go for it for sure. So I think so. Yeah, you know, like right now this question is a little funny because I never had that in mind when before coming to Canada. But when I think about it, and as you asked this lovely question, I definitely think my dad would have supported me for sure.
Yeah, because I do know a lot of parents, they have beautiful, beautiful children. And, you know, and I think it does make a difference what the parents do. So it does make a difference that your father was in the Bollywood industry already. But they just don't want to expose their children to the limelight. And, you know, there's that whole nazar. The evil eye.
The nazar,
You don't want your child to get hurt or have any bad karma on them, so people want to keep them in a bubble and protect them. So that's why it's quite common in our culture. So it's quite nice to hear that that you think that you would have been supported. So because you didn't have to worry about it as a child, and now you're a winner, what kind of support are you getting? You said that your husband and your children were already supportive. What about your parents?
My parents, yes, of course. My mom, she is in India right now, of course. She's very supportive about anything I ask her. And she's always there for any kind of questions because, of course, no matter how old you are, you always need a mother to support you, right? So my mom's always there for me. If I have any questions about anything, I just kind of give her a call and I'm like, hey mom, this is what's going on. Should I go for it? Should I not go for it? And then she's like, yeah, go for it or not go for it. So yeah, you know, that moral support that you get from your family is very important in life though.
Do you have siblings as well?
I do have a brother, yes, thank you.
Oh, okay, a brother, so not sisters. So not sisters that would have wanted to compete as well. Right? That would have been quite comical.
Yeah.
Could have been a movie, you know?
Exactly.
Siblings competing in the same pageant.
But my brother was way too proud of me. He actually was so happy. The first time he wanted to be live when we were like, you know, when the pageant was going telecasted or whatever, he wanted to be there and he's like, oh, I miss it. Because obviously it's not easy to just come and fly from India over here, right? It's like a huge, big distance. So yeah, but he was really happy.
Thanks to the internet and digital TV platforms such as ours too, they get to enjoy it while they are over there. They get to see it, and it's nice for the evolvement of technology.
Exactly.
I have another question because the show is Girls Talk.
Yep.
So I always like to ask a question about women and working together as a team because that's what I hope happens and I hope to see that. And I've had experience in the modeling world too. And I was quite surprised because I hadn't expected the women to be as helpful as they were. But when we model, like they're always helping you change your dress. They're telling you if your makeup looks good, if your makeup doesn't look good. They tell you how great you look. They take your pictures. And I had a fabulous experience with women. And I was surprised because in the movies, it's always depicted that when there's so many women working in the entertainment industry, they're not as nice to each other as they were in my experience.
Exactly.
Competing in a pageant, I'm sure, is completely different. What were your experiences like with the women?
With the women,
with your competitors, yes.
You want to specify that as well, right?
Yes.
It was actually a good experience. Raga Models had given me a good opportunity, first of all, to kind of compete in this competition. You know what the funny part was, Harjeet, that most of the competitors that I had were all younger to me. There were a couple that were older to me as well, but I did have a lot of people that were really younger to me, but they were all so helpful. Like taking, as you mentioned, you know, taking pictures, helping you dress up, and then, of course, it does get a little, you know, tight when it's on the last first 10 taken out of the the competition, then the first 5, you choose the first 5. Kind of things get a little tense at that time. Everybody doesn't want to talk to anybody, because I've had that experience. I wouldn't lie about that. Nobody wants to talk to anybody because they're all so tense. Everybody wants to know what the result would be and who's winning and who's not, if I would be in the first 5 or first 10 or whatever. So yes, it does get a little tense by the end of the competition, but in the beginning it was really fun. Everybody was really fun to work around. And of course, it's all about women empowerment, right?
Definitely.
So we have to support each other, because I couldn't have done it without anybody standing behind me. Either it's my mom or it's the other women around me. Like, we do need support all the time.
So I'm guessing, I might be wrong in guessing this, that you made friendships with some of the other competitors.
I did, yes.
That have stuck.
That's actually a good thing to say as well, because I'm a very people person too. I'm very easy to be friends with. I don't know if that's good or bad. In some things, yes, I do say it's good to be friends really, right away. But yeah, like, I'm a really good person to talk around, and I like to make friends really easily.
Yeah, I like that. It's a really good thing, and especially if you're going to be competing in a pageant.
Right.
You don't want to be the one that...
nobody wants to talk to, right?
Yeah, I know. You want to be social with everybody and make connections and grow, and especially as a winner of a pageant. Now, I mean, it's a tremendous opportunity. I've seen so many pageant winners do so many amazing things with their title. They support environmental causes, they star in music videos, they do all these incredible things. What are your aspirations with the title? What are you planning to do with it, and what have you done, if you've done anything with it so far?
Personally, I have been a lot supportive to a couple of people and friends. People have messaged me as when I won the title. I had a lot of inbox messages come to me, people asking me how I was, able to manage it with my full-time job and then my kids and the house and, all that. So I've been a lot of inspiration, I would say, to a lot of my friends as well, because they started going to the gym. And to be honest, I would like to clarify this. Going to the gym is not to just become thin or lean or, look skinny. I guess nowadays it's a different concept about going to gym. People want to go to gym to keep healthy, right? So it's more about being healthy, because before the pageant, even myself, I wasn't that conscious about going to the gym on a regular basis. But when you have a passion to do something, and I had a passion to win the contest, I worked really hard for it. I used to come back from work at 10 o'clock, and I used to go to the gym after 10 p.m. and then come home, cook for the next day for work as well. So yes, it wasn't easy. That's what I said, right? It seems it's easy because you won the pageant, I won the contest, yes, but I have put a lot of hard work into it. So now I have a couple of friends who are regular to the gym, and I feel so proud of myself, because even if I've changed one person's life by my story, I think I am a winner already, not just because I won the crown, but I guess I inspired somebody, So that's a little small achievement, but then it gives you a different kind of satisfaction, though.
Yeah, definitely. And since you are all about women empowerment, it's nice that they're reaching out to you to be a mentor, to give them advice, and they're taking the advice from you and they're going with it. I mean, that's incredible. I do agree with that. That is satisfaction in itself. I do have I think one more quick question that I'm going to ask you about the pageant, because when we come back after the break, I want to focus more on your other life outside of the pageant.
Outside of the pageant.
Outside of the pageant, yes. So there are viewers that are watching that maybe have aspirations to compete in pageants, or to do modeling, or to support a cause, and a pageant is the first step. Do you have any advice for those viewers?
Of course, to be honest with you, I would definitely say this, that it is restricted sometimes with your job, and you have, as I mentioned, you have work as well, you have kids to look after, and then there's some household works that you have to complete, of course. But again, if you have the confidence in yourself, you should definitely go for it, for sure. And then for causes, yes, because it's been restricted right now, because I've not been that active on social media for a long time, because it takes time on social media. You need a lot of commitment as well to make, follow, because after the pageant thing, you have people taking a lot of initiatives to go on social media, post pictures, post a lot of their, achievements, but I have been shying a little bit away from that. But now, as I'm done, my kids are grown-ups, I'm trying to go back into media, posting pictures, posting my little achievements that I have. Whenever I do any, walks or anything for any causes, I do put myself out there and be like, you know what, I'm always available to support any kind of cause that has to be taking place over here. And yeah, I would definitely say everybody should go for it, and it's just the confidence that a person needs in their self.
Okay, that's great advice. So, as Monica said, if you are thinking of competing in a pageant, don't hold back and go for it. Live your dreams, and you never know, you could be crowned the next pageant winner, whichever one you compete in. Anyways, we're going to be right back after this short break.
जिंदगी की दौड़ में आगे रहने के लिए आप कितनी मेहनत करते हैं और वक्त है जो हाथ नहीं आता, इसीलिए अब पेश है हबीब झटपट। जी हाँ, फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम हबीब पेश करता है रेडी टू कुक रेसिपी मसाला मिक्स। इसमें है सारे इंग्रेडिएंट्स, यानी प्याज, टमाटर, लहसुन, अदरक काटने की झंझट से छुटकारा और लज्जत से भरपूर खानों का मजा बगैर किसी मेहनत के, वो भी झटपट। नो MSG एडेड, ग्लूटेन फ्री, यानी बचत, लज्जत और सेहत साथ साथ विद हबीब झटपट। This is the world of internet. You have everything on your computer and mobile screen. If you wish to promote your business through internet, especially to perfect target market, then you have just one reliable name, NJ Marketing, offering various marketing solutions like social media marketing, telemarketing, email marketing, search engine optimization, graphic designing, web designing and development, and mobile application development. So call now at 647-824-1485 or email at njmarketing15@gmail.com or log on to njmarketing.ca.
ट्रेंडी कूल है के गहने गोल्ड हाउस, गोल्ड ज्वेलरी का है बेस्ट प्लेस गोल्ड हाउस। प्योरिटी क्वालिटी भरोसे का ये नाम गोल्ड हाउस ज्वेलर्स।
Now open biggest store of 22 and 24 karat gold jewelry in Malton. Gold House Jewelers.
New collection just arrived from Dubai, Pakistan and India. Call Shahid or Junaid.
905-672-0786.
Purity is guaranteed.
गोल्ड हाउस ज्वेलर्स।
हमने अपनी कामयाबी से बढ़कर जीता है अपनी कम्युनिटी का एतमाद और भरोसा। वाजिद मलिक एंड टीम, a team of top-of-the-line real estate and financial advisors in GTA, from commercial to residential, यानी आपके पहले घर से कामयाबी के इंतहा तक, हर कदम आपके साथ। वाजिद मलिक एंड एहसान वली। Call now 416-827-3333 or visit wajidmalik.com.
Hi, welcome back to Girls Talk. I'm your host, Harjeet Dhillon. And just before the break, I was talking to Monica regarding her win as Mrs. South Asia 2017. And we learned quite a bit about her journey in the pageant, including making friendships, which I thought was quite surprising because I do always expect rivalry when there's a lot of women together, but I'm glad that it wasn't like that. I'm always glad when I hear the opposite of what I expect.
Right?
Yeah, so I still want to touch upon you winning the pageant because that's really an exciting thing. But I want to kind of include it with your family too. So you are married and you have 2 kids. We've already been told that. How did you meet your husband? If you don't want to tell us how you met your husband, was it an arranged marriage? Are you traditional like that? Were you raised traditionally to have an arranged marriage? And did you follow that? Or did you have a love marriage and break all the rules? Or was it supported? Tell me a little bit about that story.
Sure. It's going to be a really funny story for that as well, I would say. My husband and me were obviously family friends. It wasn't a love marriage though, but it was an arranged marriage. But I was helping my husband find a girl for him, as a family member. And then suddenly, I guess it just crossed his mind, and he spoke to my mom about like, how about if you get married, your daughter with me? And I was like, oh, okay. Like my mom was out of the blues. Where did that come from, right? But then that's how we got married in the same city. So it was kind of a love marriage, come arranged marriage. So he was really supportive since day one from there.
So you didn't actually really date, technically. You just basically, you knew each other as family friends.
Right.
And then it was a marriage proposal, not like, oh, would you go on a date for coffee with me?
No, I haven't done the coffee thing.
You're still waiting for your coffee.
I haven't done that.
God. You need to take her for a coffee.
Yeah.
So that's a really sweet story. You know, I mean, especially, I'm guessing, did that happen in India?
That did happen in India, and it was, I hope you know the city Bareilly, Jhumka Gira, you know that song, right? Jhumka Gira Re Bareilly ke Bazaar mein.
If you would sing
And Priyanka Chopra is from that town too.
Oh, okay.
Bareilly, yeah. So I'm from that city over there. Obviously, my childhood was in Bombay, as I mentioned, but then I had to move for certain circumstances to Bareilly. There where I met my husband as like a family friend and everything, and then actually we're going to complete our 25 years this year in October.
Oh my God,
Yes.
isn't that incredible?
That is incredible.
Oh wow.
So maybe I can go on a coffee date this time now, right?
Well, maybe. I'm hoping he'll take you on more than a coffee date.
Yeah.
For your 25 years.
Yeah.
You know, so he's been supportive with you being a pageant winner. But he was born in India.
Yes.
So, you know, my experience sometimes, men can be quite traditional from our culture. I mean, it's evolving, it's changing, and everybody's different. So when you were competing in the pageant and you won the pageant title, was he all over it, fully supportive in the sense that he was giving you advice, he was there taking pictures? Was he just supportive, like in the sense that letting you do what you want? Or how involved was he in your journey?
He was more involved than I was. I would say that. From taking pictures to social media, you know, and doing everything on social medias as well. Posting pictures, anything, selling tickets, or, you know, whatever he was doing. And then I didn't have to worry about like coming home and cooking after, because I used to finish my work, then go for the classes. We had like a 5-day workshop before the pageant was to be held. So it was 5 days workshop. So I used to finish work, go for the pageant workshops, and then when I came home, obviously, he did support me with like cooking food and everything. It wasn't that he was waiting for me, like I would come in and cook food or whatever. The kids were all supportive. But yes, he was more excited more than I was for the pageant. And you should have seen him when I won the crown. Oh my God, it was an amazing moment for me. I was more happy for my family and my friends that saw me winning than I was happy for myself. That was a secondary thing for me at that time. I was more happy when I saw everybody so excited. My kids were like screaming out there, Anushka and Siddhant, that's my son's and daughter's name. They were screaming out. I could hear them on the stage. That's my mom. That's my mom. So I was like, oh, that's so cute. I could hear them. And then my husband was like all shaky, and, you know, like, yeah, it was a lifetime moment that I can never ever forget though.
Well, it's incredible,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just so nice as well that your husband was as supportive as he was. I mean, to add that he was cooking.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing. I'm you know, I mean, just based on what I know and in my experience, like, men are always the head chefs in kitchens and restaurants. But
I'll tell you a secret. He never cooked in India, eh? My in-laws were surprised, like, he's cooking? Yeah, he's cooking.
At home, I don't know why. It's always the mother or the wife in the kitchen. But in the restaurants, it's always the men that are in the kitchen. So I'm kind of confused because men know how to cook and they cook really well.
He does cook really well, yeah. So I guess you've had that experience too, have you?
Well, not in my personal experience. My dad is not quite a chef.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I never grew up with that, but his best friend was my uncle, and he was a chef. So that's the only male chef that I've known. And it was so nice because my mom would be taking tips from my dad's friend on how to
cook.
cook.
And like, wow. that's
Yeah,
amazing.
because his food was amazing, and it was amazing for me too, because I've never seen a man cook. And growing up little, that was the only man in my life was my uncle that
Uncle,
cooked,
yeah.
and it was fascinating. So till now, I don't see a lot of men in the kitchen for my culture, but that's I know it's not
that's
true.
what I told you. My in-laws were surprised.
I want to apologize. I'm not saying men don't cook, because I know men do, and I haven't seen it as much as I want to.
You want to see.
So it's nice because I do find, and it's not just a cultural thing either.
Right.
Sometimes men can be so focused on that being their woman, that they don't want you to have that platform. They don't want anybody else to see you. It could be a protected thing. It could be a controlling thing. It could be anything.
Right.
But it happens as well, you
Yeah.
know. So to have the other extreme where he was going out of his way
Just
to
the
support
opposite,
you,
yeah.
it's so refreshing to hear that.
He was just totally the opposite of anybody would have thought about a man being there. Because as I mentioned, when this thought came to my mind about going for the pageant and competing in a pageant, he didn't even say no at once, or he didn't even give it a second thought. He's like, sure, go for it. That was okay, that's what I needed. So that's how we started all the journey from the pageant.
That's so nice. And then, you got married in India.
Yes, I did.
And then you came over to Canada, and you settled down in Canada, and you had your children here, or you had your children in India that brought them over?
No, my kids were from India as well, because we just came to Canada in 2006, though. So it's been 13
Okay,
years
so
now,
fairly
yeah.
recent.
Fairly recent, yeah. The kids were growing up a little bit, though.
And did you decide together? Was it his decision? Was it your decision? How did that come up to move to Canada?
It was my decision. As I mentioned in the beginning, I always wanted to fly, So I was like, I want to go. And then he's like, are you sure you want to go? And I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go. And then that's how, we started the process of like coming here to Canada.
Did you have any family or friends in Canada, or was it just you just picked Canada off a map? Oh, go there.
We did have a couple of family friends over here, but we made it on our own all the way. The journey wasn't very easy for us when we came here, because first of all, everybody was suggesting us to be they told my husband to just come by himself and discover and get an idea about how things are in Canada, because it's totally different from what it is in India and what it is in Canada. But he was always adamant about, no, I will go with my family, because, if I feel alone or anything, at least my family, my wife, my kids are there with me. So that's why we decided to come all together. But yeah, he had some friends that we stayed a couple of days with, and then got to know a little bit about Canada. And then in a couple of days, we moved out and started our life over here in Canada. And it's a lovely country to be here with.
So, wow, I know it was just a suggestion on your part. You just want to fly.
I just want to fly, just
Yeah.
it's a joke, we did come here.
But it's so amazing that he was so supportive, and with the kids, you uprooted, you came here, and you've lasted this long, and it's clearly made your marriage stronger too. I mean, it could be a make or break, not having anybody around, having to totally depend on each other because you have no one else. You have to be really strong for that. And then there's going to be times when you're struggling emotionally, you miss people, you just don't have anything to do. And I'm sure that was a journey in itself.
That was a big journey, yeah, because as I mentioned, even if you have friends and family over here, everybody has their own life, commitments that you cannot expect everybody to do what you want them to do, because everybody has their own life, everybody's busy in their jobs. So we weren't expecting from anybody at all. So yeah, we kind of supported each other, and then we went through all the icy falls that we had, and then we made it through for sure. And we've been here for like 13 years now, and I love it. He loves it too for that. So he owes me big time for saying, because I brought him over here, so he's happy about that.
I'm sure he'll be taking you on that coffee date.
Yeah, for sure. Right?
I
hope he's listening to what you're saying right now.
We'll make sure he listens. So, it's an incredible story. And, your mom's still back in India, and your brother's still back in India. Do they come over to visit you often?
Yes, my mom's been here twice, and my brother's been here. They were here 2 years. Yeah, 2 years ago. They were here with his family, my brother and my sister-in-law and their son. So they do come visit. My in-laws actually were just recently over here. They just flew back to India last week. So they were here as well. So we do have family coming over, to visit, which is the best thing, to have your family people around. But we do have that visit come along.
So with you guys not being in India, but the families being back in India, do they communicate with each other when you guys are not around, or is it just when you two come together that the family gets together?
I actually forgot to mention that little story about my wedding now.
Yeah.
See, you just reminded me of that. My mom and my sister-in-law, they are good friends from childhood. So that's how the relationship, came out when we were in Bareilly. They were both friends, and as I mentioned, my mom was looking for a girl for my husband to get married, but then eventually, my sister-in-law and my husband came up to my mom and said, hey, why don't you just, give your daughter to us, though? That's how the thought ran through her mind, and we decided to be together, and I'm blessed, and I'm thankful to God that I couldn't have found anybody better than him for my life.
Oh, that's so nice. So your sister-in-law is friends with your mom?
With my mom.
They definitely do connect with each other, and they keep in touch because
yeah.
they're still friends. Their friendship's
still
probably
friends,
stronger
yeah.
now. Even
Very
thanks
strong
to
now,
the
yeah.
children.
It's more stronger for sure.
So it is important to have a stable and a supportive and loving environment if you're going to compete in something such as a pageant, because it's a competition, and it's not a sport. But it's about, a lot of people, it is about winning, and it can be a very emotional journey. So to have your husband and your kids being so supportive is really amazing.
Thank you.
It's really amazing. What are your next steps from now? What do you want to do in the next 5 years? Not just with your title, with the modeling, and as a mom, where do you see things going, and what causes do you support?
I would definitely like to support the sick kids cause for sure, because that's been one of my passion things that I wanted to support. And then as I mentioned, now the kids are grown-ups, they're both working, so a little bit of less responsibilities to them coming home and expecting a lot. My job has been stable. I do work 40 hours a week, but then again, I do find some time for myself and for other things to do with the title as well. So I'm always open to, and now, as I mentioned, I'm more active on social media in 2000, yeah. So definitely I have a lot of things going on in mind right now. And again, it's not about the age or anything. If you're going to the gym or if you're competing in a pageant, if there's any other pageant coming up on, universal level or even like anything higher, I wouldn't mind going for that, because I know my husband would definitely be there to support me, and my family's always there to support me, and my friends are there to support me. So I have all the opportunities and windows open for me to go as much as I want and higher as I want.
So there's lots to look forward to. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we'll see you compete in more pageants and see you win them as well, with all the talents that you have, and you get to support sick kids. It's an amazing cause. I support sick kids myself. It's one of the charities nearest and dearest to me.
Right.
And you never know, maybe you can use your voice to empower other women to go to the gym. You've already done it with your friends.
Yeah.
So it will be nice to see that. But unfortunately we're out of time now.
Okay.
I do appreciate you coming in today to tell us your story and about your journey to win the pageant. Thank you again, Monica, for being here.
Thank you very much for having me over. I'm honored. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for watching Girls Talk with the beautiful Monica Dilawari, and we will see you next week.
A criminal charge can be an ugly and nasty surprise. Don't let bad decisions or unfortunate circumstances take control of your life. The criminal lawyers at Alam Law Chambers will listen to your story and develop the best defense for you. Nothing in life is more important than your freedom. Reliable and affordable. Alam Law.
Farah Ishan Sheer Elegance is proud to present an exclusive 2-day trunk show and meet and greet with designer Zishan Bariwala on October 27th and 28th, 2018 from 12 p.m. till 7 p.m. Ready-to-wear, casual, formal and pret collection by the designer will be up for grabs, as well as all brides-to-be can book a one-on-one consultation with the designer to order their dream dress. So don't forget to visit Parahan at 9075 Dairy Road West, Unit number 1 in Milton. And for details, you can call us at 647-738-8344. See you all.
मैं हूं जहांगीर खान, स्क्वाश कोर्ट का चैंपियन, लेकिन रियल एस्टेट इन्वेस्टमेंट का चैंपियन मोहम्मद कामरान हुसैन। मुझे उन पर यकीन है, आप भी करके देखिए।
जहांगीर खान और हजारों क्लाइंट्स का चहेता मोहम्मद कामरान हुसैन। रेजिडेंशियल प्रॉपर्टीज और इन्वेस्टमेंट्स दोनों के लिए ही सही मशवरा, सही फैसला। मकान जिसे आप अपना घर कहने में फख्र महसूस करेंगे। मोहम्मद कामरान हुसैन, 4163185264।
चॉकलेट चिप कुकी।
अली,
सिर्फ कुकी दूंगा, चॉकलेट चिप नहीं दूंगा। इसमें तो बहुत सारे चॉकलेट चिप हैं। एक सेकंड देता हूँ, अभी भी बहुत है।
अब अली बेचारा क्या करे, जब नए बिस्कॉनी चॉकलेट चिप कुकी में है बहुत ज्यादा चॉकलेट चिप्स, ऊपर भी चॉकलेट, अंदर भी चॉकलेट।
आपकी कुकी
बिस्कॉनी चॉकलेट चिप कुकीज बहुत बहुत